Here is a very little story of a lady that came online on TikTok to cry because she's got no husband, no child, and she's broke, and she's 30 years old. Let's watch that very little video clip.
When everything wanted fall apart.
No, I want to marry. Go and marry, baby. People are running away. When you marry, you start showing us the ring. Thank you, Steve. Just after actually months, calling your husband who used to call Bay is a dog. That one is a dog. Your husband is standing from the bed to a dog. This is the marriage. Take your time, dear. Being single is not a sin. Take your time.
Hello fam, how you all doing? I hope you all are having a fantastic week. Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe. Thank you so much for your support. Today's topic is on wife material. What men really mean when they say they need a wife material. And also we will discuss the reason why women are the ones initiating divorce, not the men.
What is the craziest or most dangerous thing you'd do for love?
I'm not doing nothing for these guys.
A woman staying in a relationship and waiting for you to change, that is way beyond loyalty. That's so much devotion. Like the fact that, you know, even after all the hurtful things you say, the way you treat her, all she does is see the good in you, and she's waiting with patience, hoping that, you know, somehow she can change you so you guys can be together. Bro, don't ever let that slide. Trust me, don't take that for granted. Because once you lose her, you realize that you lost someone so genuine, so pure. All they wanted was to be with you. They were getting nothing out of it. They were just getting hate and pain, but they stayed that whole time to be with you. Bro, think about that for a second.
This person say a marriage material is a woman who can endure all and accept everything bad. If you think that this commenter is lying, if you see any man, just ask the man to describe what the ideal wife should be. Like, what does he describe as a good wife? What kind of wife does he want to marry? And then you will see that most men are going to literally describe a slave for you. They are either going to describe a slave or a maid. And the most important characteristics in that description that they are going to give you is a woman that has patience and endurance. As long as you are willing to endure every nonsense that they give you without complaining or without threatening to leave, then you are a good wife. Woman that has patience and endurance equals to good wife.
Have you ever wondered what men mean when they say they want wife material? The idea of wife material can vary for each person, but most men look for qualities that make them feel like they're investing in someone who's got their back for the long haul. This is not just restricted to the traditional roles, it also includes respect, connection, and trust. The very first thing men are looking out for is trustworthiness. They want the woman to be trustworthy. But the question here is this: those men, are they trustworthy? They want the woman to be loyal, a woman that is willing to take all their BS, a woman that can be trampled on without complaining, a woman that is meek, that is docile. That's what they're looking for. A good number of men, not the good one, but those bad eggs, those ones that come on social media and talk about, I want a wife material. That's exactly what they're looking for. Someone that is willing to take their BS, someone that they can trust, that they are sure this person is not going to cheat on them as much as they are cheating on the person. Number two, they are looking for women that are emotionally matured. Sounds right, isn't it? But not in that way. The reason why they're looking for women that are emotionally matured is because they need emotional support. They need women that will be there for them emotionally, women that will baby them, babysit them emotionally, women that is willing to support them emotionally. But the question here is this: are they willing to support those women emotionally? No. They are looking for women that are emotionally sound, that can bear their emotional burden, but them, they are not willing to do same for such women. Men are takers. Men are looking for independent women, not that kind of independent women. I know the books are describing the independence to be women that have got their own life, their own things going for them. No, a good number of men, especially those men that come on social media, are not looking for women that have their own things going for them. No, they are looking for independent women, women that can cater for the house without depending on the man to assist, women that can babysit both the men and the children without asking for assistance from the men, women that can independently manage the affairs of the house, the whole family. That is what men are looking for when they talk about independent women. They are not looking for women that have their work, have have their business going for them, have their life and passion. They're not looking for women that are individualistic in their relationship. They are not looking for women that can survive without them. Rather, they are looking for women that will cater for the whole family and still depend on them. Here is a clear example of the independence men are looking for in a wife material. This man wrote out a schedule for the wife. Let's have a look.
This man took the time to write out a complete list along with time recommendations for how she could be a quote-unquote good wife. He's like, I want my meals at this time. I want to be served breakfast at this time. I need you to work out. I need you to do all this. At the bottom it says with a smile and be supportive. Happy wife, happy life. He's not talking about I need you to be understanding, be a listener, care for me, pray for me. Like none of that. He just wants somebody to do these chores. This might as well have been the list he left for the nanny and the new maid he was hiring.
When you leverage your chores in exchange for a wedding ring, all you'll get is a man willing to make a mule out of you. There is no wedding ring big enough. There is no amount of bills being paid that would make me want to sign up for this, but some women do. And don't be mad when this man doesn't expect to lift a finger. All they want you to do is cook, clean, do all the laundry, be an acrobat in the bedroom, never complain. That's all they want. And if you're willing to exchange that for a wedding ring, you'll get a lot of takers. There's a lot of men wanting exactly this. You're more than just what you can do for a man. What about your heart, your intellect, your nurturing ability, your femininity? Like, what about your wise counsel? But when you make yourself seem like all you are is an appliance, that's exactly how he's going to treat you.
I cooked. I cleaned, did his resume, married him, gave him 2 babies, put my thing down, flipped it, and reversed it. Hook, tool. Even paid the bills. You heard me. I didn't say 50-50. I said I paid the bills. And he still cheated our entire relationship. Stop telling women all the things that they need to do to keep a man. Oh, if you do all this, he'll never cheat. He'll be what? No. Nothing you do will stop a cheater from cheating. It's a them thing. It's a character flaw. Low self-esteem, mommy issues, whatever it is. You can't stop them. They're going to do what they're going to do. Sometimes you got to let that man go be with his type.
Have you ever wondered why majority of divorces are initiated by women? Some people argue and say it's because women have higher expectations, while others blame their relationship dynamics. Studies have consistently shown that around 70% of divorces are initiated by women.
How old are you?
47, 45.
Oh wow, I was way off. What is one change that you've made that has dramatically improved the quality of your life?
You want to say it together? Getting divorced. Leaving their broke ass behind.
Can you tell me about that?
It's a decision that I should have made a long time prior to when I made it. So it kind of felt like freeing. Everything went up from there. You get married at a certain age and then you grow. And sometimes you realize that the person you married isn't necessarily the one that you're going to age with. He was great when I was younger. And then as I got older, I needed something else. He just didn't fit my lifestyle anymore.
What's the biggest lesson you have from each of those marriages?
A personal growth. I needed to be in that relationship in order to propel myself at a higher level. I would say listen to your intuition. When I made the decision to leave the marriage, I had a lot of naysayers saying, your life will not get better. This is what it is. Accept it. And I refused. And I listened to my gut, my intuition, and I'm in a much better place in every aspect.
You want to know the major theme that I'm seeing in the divorce industry as a divorce lawyer as I do consults these days? I am seeing working moms doing it all. And I'm seeing the husbands step back and say, Hannah, I got to do a thing. She's got the kids, she's got the groceries, she's got the laundry, she's got the meals, she's got the work. And by the way, she's making all the money and she's paying for the house and doing everything else. I'm going to go to the firehouse. I'm going to go play this. I'm going to go hang out with my friends. That's the theme. And women are tired.
Here are some reasons why women initiate divorce: mental load and unequal responsibility in the family. The biggest hidden stressors in marriages is mental load, especially modern marriage. It means women juggling career, taking care of their entire family, being the manager of the family, taking care of their kids, doing school runs, cooking for the family, doing everything, still contributing to the bills of the house. That's too much. That's torture. Why should you be in a relationship and carrying the entire load when you can be by yourself and live a better life? So when women think about it, being in that relationship is a huge loss on them, because if you look at it financially, they are contributing also to that family, and the husband is just choosing to be only a provider and then he has much time to go out there and hang out with friends. That's cheating. And I don't think any sane person will want to remain in such a marriage or relationship. Women also initiate divorce due to the fact that their expectations are not met and they're not having a proper emotional connection. Marriage is way beyond just commitment. You need to be there as a man for your family. You need to connect with your wife. For a good number of men are lacking in that area. They don't know how to connect, or they refuse, or they choose not to connect with their wife. What they think at the top of their head is, once I provide, that is it. But they also expect that woman to support them emotionally. When they have emotional issues, they come to that woman to be a support. But who supports her when she has her own issue? Men don't do that. So it's just too much of giving for women, because look at it, as a woman, you're being there for your man emotionally, financially, and otherwise, but that man is just there for you financially alone. Some men are not even there for their wives financially. So let's just talk about those ones that are there financially. Let's say, okay, this man is just there for you financially, but when it comes to the emotional aspect, you have to look for a friend, or you have to do your emotional issues by yourself. Well, then why are you in that relationship? Why are you there?
Ladies, if you end up showing up to a guy's house like my own, and he's a father, and his house looks like this, you walk through the door and you don't see much on the walls besides pictures of his daughter. You walk into the kitchen, it's bare. And then you walk to a playroom / office. You have all of her stuff there. You have a small bathroom, and you have his room, bare. His hallway is just pictures of his daughter. And the only room that is furnished is the only one that matters. His daughter. He's probably got one hell of a story of what happened to him in family court, and he's barely surviving to hold down the fort. He's probably a great man, and all he really cares about is his daughter. So if you walk into a man's house that's almost 40 years old and his house looks like this, he's been through something. That means he is a very loyal man who never gave up on his child. It costs a lot of money to fight to be allowed to be a father. So don't turn away from a man like me or any other man. We're broken, but deep down you'll find out we're loyal and we care and we fight for a relationship.
I don't know his entire story, but what is common out there is that men don't assist in their marriages. If he's like the regular men, I mean the men we see on social media and the men that a lot of women are experiencing, men that don't even care about their kids and the marriage. I'm pretty sure he didn't even care about what the daughter's room looked like when he had the wife present. So he's been forced to do it. So having him decorate the daughter's room and fight for the daughter does not translate to him being a loyal man, being a good man. I'm pretty sure he has his personal reasons for insisting on having the custody of that child. So fighting for your child does not make you a good father. Maybe if he was a good father to the child and a good husband to the wife and did what was required of him in that marriage wouldn't have gone south. I understand sometimes women are the cause of divorce, but what is out there is that men are the main culprit. They are the ones causing chaos and treating women badly. So I'm just speaking based on what is common out there. So most men are always absent and they have this mindset of, I'm a provider. As long as I bring money to the table, it solves everything. The woman should fix the rest of the problem.
We don't make each other's lives more difficult than if we were single.
My ex initiated the divorce, and it's something that I don't know if I ever would have been able to do. So in that way, I'm really grateful for her. But when we were first in that initial stage of separation, she seemed to experience bliss. and she felt free, like she had escaped slavery, which felt terrible. And at the time I was still resisting the idea of divorce, and I had a lot of animosity, a lot of anger towards her for initiating the divorce. So I didn't like that she was feeling so free while I was feeling devastated, absolutely devastated. Looking back, I can see that her life was better when we weren't together. And I think that was at least in part because I made her life harder. I didn't make her life easier. There's a lot of the mental load that I added to her life. There was a lot of I think she almost had to manage me like I was one of the kids. But I didn't make her life easier. I thought I was doing something, really good in the world and really good for a relationship, and like making money and paying for the mortgage and things like that. And she was miserable. And I think about that a lot. I've thought about that a lot over the years since my divorce. I spent a long time thinking about her part, especially in those early months. Everything was her fault in my mind. And something happened, this flip switched in my head, and then everything was my fault. And then eventually it came to this point of balance where I recognized, yes, a lot of things were my fault, but not everything. Some things were on her, and I feel like I've come to a more balanced place. But now I'm a few years out. There really isn't much that's beneficial about focusing on her fault and all of that. The only benefit in that is recognizing the type of partner that I do or don't want to be with now. It's more beneficial for me to emphasize or to give my time and attention and energy on the things that I did in that relationship, because that's something that I can actually work on and grow from. And I really love this video. If you guys haven't seen the video, go back and watch the whole thing. His main point is, life shouldn't be easier if you were single. If you got a number of months to be away from your partner and you find that life is easier, that's a problem. And maybe you shouldn't be in that relationship. And I agree with that a lot. And I never want to be a partner where it is easier for me to be away. It's a good challenge.
What he described is exactly what plays out in a lot of marriages out there. So a lot of men, all they have to do is bring the money, and then they expect the woman to become a magician. It's like they don't view women as humans, like we are robotic, we are superhumans, we are extra. We are not normal human. Because if you have empathy, if you are a true human being that has humanity, you would take a moment and think, oh, how does she do all these things? Oh, how is it possible for her to be there for the kids, go to work, be there for me, and also be there for herself? Who is even being there for her? It's just selfishness. Like I keep saying, men are programmed to be selfish. Only a selfish person will not take a step back and think about things this way. All they will be thinking about is themselves. Oh, my part is just to bring money. Once I give the money, whatever that happens is none of my business. And I also expect her to be there for me, to take care of me. When I have emotional breakdown, I run to her to solve the problem, because this woman is a superhuman to a lot of men. They don't view women as humans, and they have this mentality that women are slaves. So when you have a slave, you don't view a slave as a human, because if you take it back to ancestral days where slave trade was a big thing, masters viewed their slaves that way. They don't think their slaves have God blood running through their veins. They're not supposed to be emotional, so they can throw anything at them. So men view women as slaves, especially those men that are looking for wife materials, women that will shoulder their burdens, be there for them, but don't receive anything in return from them aside money. Same men will open their mouth and say, I love you, I love you. What is the meaning of love? If we're talking about love, what does love mean? They feel like love is, oh, I feel attracted to you, you're sexually appealing, I want to have sex with you. They think that's what love is. A lot of men don't understand the meaning of love, because if you truly love someone, you will not watch that person hurt and suffer. You will not even be the source of the person's pain. So women, when someone tells you they love you, don't get carried away. You should dig deeper and ask the person, what kind of love are you you talking about? Because someone that loves you will not intentionally hurt you. A lot of men are intentionally hurting women and enslaving women. Let's hear what this man has to say.
Dear ladies, this one is for you. Let me tell you from a man's perspective how men do things and how they think. A man's satisfaction, victory, accomplishment is when a woman is down, when his woman is stressed, when his woman is frowning, when his woman is depressed. A man gets happier when the woman is down. The cheating, the shouting, the yelling. A man can also bring another woman into his matrimonial bed without feeling any remorse, without feeling bad. That's a man for you. A man can take you to court and fight for the custody of children that he was questioning that they are his. Not to win the custody to say, like, I want to take care of my kids, but just to press you down, to oppress you, to see you frowning, to see you frustrated, not being loved, not looking good, stressed. That's a man for you. Many women are feeling down today because of men. And those are the things that women do know, but they don't do anything about them. They see the red flags, but they don't do anything about them up until it gets to this point where a woman goes around and says, like, I'm not trusting any man because of one man, because of what that woman endured, that woman stayed hoping and thinking that that man will change. So a man's satisfaction and accomplishment, it's when a woman is sad, it's when a woman is hurt, it's when a woman is feeling unloved, it's when a woman is depressed, it's when a woman is frowning. That's a man for you. If you don't believe me, go and read about the statistics. Even when you are in marriage, he's going to make you feel unloved up until you instigate the divorce. If you go and check the statistics of people who are instigating the divorce, it's women. Not because women don't want to stay in those marriages. It's because of a man. You get frustrated to a point whereby you feel like, you know what, the best thing is for me to leave. Drop everything, leave everything behind. For my sanity, for my tranquility. It's a man for you. I love you.
That might not apply to all men, but believe me, majority of men are that way.
You know, the biggest crisis that men seem to be facing in our society right now is male loneliness. And the biggest crisis that women seem to be facing, I mean, like, besides SA and murder and dismemberment and cannibalism and trafficking and besides those things, is that, you know, they do all the work, all the mental labor, all the household labor, all the childhood labor. So men have to struggle with hard feelings, and women struggle with literally everything else. But so much of masculinity has been built in our society around men having a woman. And men aren't allowed to be true men if they don't have a woman, if they aren't in a romantic relationship. And I think if we look on a deeper, kind of darker side of that, men need to dominate someone or something in order to be a true man. That is the gendered script that has been written by patriarchy for men. But men cannot comprehend why a woman would want to be alone, because so much of their identity and their gender is wrapped up with having a woman, being in a romantic relationship with someone. It is near impossible for a man to conceive why a woman would not want that, because they would never, ever, ever choose that. Now, obviously, there's exceptions to that, and there are men who break free of that. But there is a great reckoning that is happening in our country and in countries like South Korea, where women are realizing their lives are better without men. And the more that you can decenter men in your life, the happier and more fulfilling of a life you can have. And that is creating a crisis for men who have built their entire identity around having a woman, and now they are suffering with male loneliness. And instead of becoming the type of person that a woman would want to partner with, someone who actually adds something to her life that makes her life more vibrant, more meaningful, someone who is able to help her carry the weight of life instead of adding weight to her life. Men just blame women. But men need women in a way that women don't need men because of the way that gender scripts have been written. Men need women in order to feel secure in their own gender. Women don't need that. Which means ultimately men need to rethink manhood, because this isn't going to work. Like, with the way that society is going and what women need in order to feel safe and secure and have vibrant, life-giving lives, this isn't going to work. Men have to rethink masculinity, and most aren't willing to do that.
Click this video to watch men who are selfish and always take from women, and I will see you all in another video. Bye bye.